Good evening. Welcome to the Division 1 football show. It is a cast of thousands tonight. We've got two guests from the EDS Football Club after they opened their account with a terrific win over Pines last week. And there were some special victories overall in Division 1 football in round 6. Michael Bussey and Tom Rourke join us after EDS' first win of the season, and big celebrations followed as they had their century ball. The club's been around now for 100 years, since 1920, and of course last year with no football, everyone is having celebrations. If you had a big celebration for your football club, they're having it this year, which EDS had last week, and a good time to have it as well after opening their account with a wonderful win. Frankston Bombers win their second nail-biter in a row, edging out Bomb Beach in a thriller. Mount Eliza surged to second spot with a great win over Rosebud. We go around the grounds. We'll also have our MVT and our tips, and of course OBrien Real Estate is our major sponsor with over 9 locations across the Mornington Peninsula. OBrien Real Estate will be able to achieve the best price for your sale or rental, backed by a myriad of experience. Wayne Capper's away. Tony Blackford is here. Welcome, Blackers.
It's good, mate. Good to be back. Good to enjoy the company, Dan.
It's fantastic to have everyone here, including Chris Holcomb.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Eddie boys bring tonight. I'm excited. I've got a feeling. I've got a massive feeling too.
I'm just feeling a bit nervous. I'm perspiring like 10 men in the left-hand corner here, but we are looking forward to it. Happy birthday to your wife, Jeanette, tonight.
Double.
I think she's
double.
in her late 30s, Chris, so we wish her all the best tonight.
Hopefully she leaves me some Chinese for when I get home.
Yeah, hope so.
You might have to go to the KFC.
And our special guests, Michael Bussey, one of the greats of the MPNFL, and Tom Rourke, who's playing his first season with Edith Vale Aspendale, and he's come from the Heathmont Football Club in the Eastern Football League. Great mates together when they played for the Eastern Rangers back in the TAC Cup days under the great Darren Boris Buick. Dual Essendon Premiership star, played 238 games for the Bombers between 1988 and 2000. Michael, welcome. Tom, welcome. Good to have you with us, boys.
Thanks, mate. Pleasure.
Now, Michael, great win last week. Must have been wrapped with the way the boys played.
Yeah, it was. It's I think we've been building the last couple of weeks. Obviously the start of our season wasn't probably what we wanted, but we knew the last couple of weeks that we're building towards something special, and finally we got there. Did
you get off to a slow start this year? Lack of pre-season, was it?
No, I wouldn't say that. I probably thought I was the fittest I'd been in a pre-season.
But with the team, is that?
I don't think so.
No.
I just think we just had a few boys that probably hadn't played much senior football, it just took them a little while to maybe get their heads around what was required, and
because you could have, and in this competition they could have easily beaten three wins, Dan.
Yes. Yeah, they've been. I mean, the Mount Eliza game, Michael, was a great example of believing, wasn't it? I know Mount Eliza kicked a lot of behinds that day, but as Steve Brattle, the coach of Mount Eliza, told me, you guys just kept coming all day. I mean, if you kick goals, you stay in a match, don't you? Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we had Tommy here.
Tommy kicked 5 that day.
He had 5.
I had it on a string.
He did. I did notice he didn't even get a look in the team of the week.
Yeah, Cappy, that's terrible. Cappy.
He's not here tonight, so we can
that's
throw him under
probably
the bus.
Dan. That's probably why Cappy isn't here. He knew that the two boys were coming in.
Yeah. 25 and 5. I'll tell you what, he'd be in my team.
Shocking.
How are you enjoying it, Tommy, coming across from the Eastern Footy League into the MPNFL?
Yeah, no, loving it, mate. Obviously having Michael there as a best mate. Made it a bit easier, but he did say the club filled with great people, and it's been a good transition.
It is early days to compare, and some comparisons can be odious. How does it compare to the Eastern Footy League, the MPNFL?
A few people have asked that, but the Eastern Footy League's a bloody strong league, so it is hard to compare. But the top end talent we've faced early days is pretty hot with your Bomb Beaches and that. So they as I said, they bat pretty deep as well as the Eastern Footy League. Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell.
Do you think, Michael? I look at your top end talent, and there's plenty of that. There's a lot of experience that you're probably just lacking a little bit of depth with your younger players at the moment. And when they all come through and overcome some injuries, that you'll be better even in the second half of the year.
Yeah, like I said, we had a fair few boys at the start of this year that probably hadn't played a lot of senior footy. But that's also exciting for us because now we've got a couple of games under the belt and a bit of belief in them. Well, who knows how good they can be.
Especially your last couple of weeks. That's just going to build belief amongst the whole group.
Yeah, we know. We believe within
what
our
you're
group.
capable of.
Yeah, we know. So we don't listen to the noise outside or whatever. We know we've got the talent. It just took a little bit to come through, but it's there.
Yeah, definitely there.
That's you, Dan. They don't listen to your noise because that's what they're talking about. Your crap that comes out of your mouth.
Oh, I haven't been writing them off.
I like them this week too. I reckon that
Yes,
they're just starting to hit some straps. Stevie Mannix still playing footy. He's winding back the clock. He's still playing some good footy, the old fella.
He's teaching us young boys how it's done.
He's a hard nut, isn't he?
He is hard. I think he is leading the league in contested footy. So, no, he's a good leader coming across. Definitely noticing Steve the way he goes about it. It's second to none. It's good.
Was there a lot of older people at the 100-year celebration at the ball?
Good question.
It's a bit foggy.
But it was great to be able to obviously have a celebration like that after a win. Now, we've got a wonderful photo today that a couple of people sent through to me, and I've passed it on to Reece. Now, rumours were that you got this particular, or the outfits you got, 2 for 1 at the op shop. Are those rumours true, Tom, or are those rumours absolute rubbish?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. I think they're. I don't think they're op shop worthy. I think they're pretty good kids, to be honest.
No, they are good.
I reckon they're all right.
I reckon you look fantastic.
I think Dermot Cleary can shove that one too. He's
yeah, I think he can. He can. The hairstyle. Why?
Another good question.
Because he's got hair, Dan, not like you, mate.
Yeah, I don't have any. You can't grow grass on a busy street, though, Chris. And last week, Michael, I believe you decided to put yourself on the ruck in that last quarter. Does Ben, the coach, give you a licence if you feel that something needs to be done, that you can do things like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Benny's pretty good. Obviously, we've got our leadership group or whatever, and if we've got something that we want to bring up with him, he's pretty open to it. I just felt they were starting to get on top going into the last quarter, and I was probably a bit wasted up forward, so to throw myself in and try and get the ball going forward, and it paid off. So, do
you like playing in the ruck, or do you prefer to be up forward?
Yeah, not particularly. You get pretty banged up, so, but what do you do? Sometimes you just got to do that, I guess.
And Tom, 5 goals the other week must have been really nice. I know you just fell short, but it would have been really nice to kick the 5 goals to show that you've come to a new competition and you mean business.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good for your spectators, isn't it, Dan?
Mm.
Yeah, it was. It would have been nicer to get the 4 points, but 5. I think there was a few lucky ones there off the inside out of the boot, but it was good. It was good to get one under the belt like that, and just a little bit more consistency for myself would be nice, actually.
Especially against Mount Eliza too. If you've felt that already, Mount Eliza, the hatred that we've got for all
There's a bit of that on the field. I think it starts with the big fella sitting next to me, a lot of that hatred.
Well, there's also the Bomb Beach rivalry as well, isn't there? I mean, the two clubs do not like each other.
Yeah,
which is great for a footy comp, I reckon, in regard to having that rivalry. I mean, you'd notice that, Michael, having been at Edie for a few years now.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good getting yourself up for a big rivalry game, or, a game where there's going to be a bit of feeling in it. So,
now, Michael and Tom are with us for Growth Syndicates Australia tonight as our special guests, and Michael had 141 Premier Data ranking points last week, 15 disposals, 20 hit-outs and 3 goals. Tom Rourke had 14 disposals, 2 clearances, 5 inside 50s, and had 50 Premier Data points.
Oh, he would have rather you put up last week's stats than this one.
He's got them up on his wall at home.
But it was a terrific performance. They won by 21 points, 12,880 to 9,559. Michael Bussey basically threw the team on his back, kicking 3 goals for the match to get them over the line by 21 points.
You've turned into Wayne Cap. Everyone that comes on the show, you just suck up their butt.
I'm just reading what was put in front of me.
You
wrote it. Tell me what to do. I didn't write that.
You wrote it.
And your defence was pretty good too, boys, doing the job again. I mean, sometimes it seems to be a bit undersized, that defence of yours, Michael and Tom, but again, it gets the job done, doesn't it, when required?
Yeah, definitely. I think Nico was super on the weekend.
Yeah,
good player.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And like a couple of these other young boys who were coming through, like Jared Amor, Lobby, they just continue to stand up week in, week out.
And you're giving those guys jobs and responsibilities, and they're obviously doing it well.
Yeah, 100%. I think Jared last week took their number 1 forward and just shut him down. So, if they can keep doing that for us going on later into the year, then we'll start picking games off.
Can I just say, too, that I was the only one that picked him last week? Because you had a Pines bloke in here, so you caved in and Cappy caved in, and you both picked Pines. I was the only bloke to pick Edie.
Yeah, I thought it would be close, though.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I thought it would go right down.
No, you suck up the people on the show. That's what you do.
I do not.
At least I have.
Now, Sam Monahan, he's had a few injuries since he's come to the club, but just starting to show his best footy, isn't he?
Yeah, the cool dad, we call him down at
Cool dad, why?
He's
got a nice little... Yeah, he's got a little kid, but he raves on about his fashion sense down there. He thinks he's pretty cool, the cool man on the block. So.
Really?
But he's in some good form, Sammy. He's what I've noticed down there since I've been there is just his clean hands in the air. When he goes forward, he's very dangerous, and he doesn't mind kicking a goal and a little celebration, as you saw on the weekend. But no, it's good. He's in some ribbon form.
Bit of me time. You'd be all over that, wouldn't you, Bus? Bit of me time.
100% have to.
Charlie Martello was named among the best. He had a great game, and Shane Allen's been handy too, kicking goals for you.
Yeah, good inclusion, Shano. He missed the first 3 or 4, I think, through coming back through injury, but yeah, his ball use is very good across half forward, and young Chuck down back, he's solid every week. He's good.
Now, Lockie Marshall's best with 24 touches, 8 clearances. Jaden Adams, 15 touches and 3 clearances. They've got a few to come back as we look at the injuries for Anytime Fitness Pines at the moment.
Before you look at the injuries, can I just say a shout out to Jack Fisher for Pines. He got in the best again this week, and he's been in there twice this week. In 6 games, he's had 13 possessions. He had 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. He had 2 on the weekend and got in the best. I reckon that's a phenomenal effort.
But, I mean, his job is a lockdown defender, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a fantastic effort to get in the best with 2 touches.
I might go down to the Pines.
That's what I want.
But, I mean, if you...
I would have wanted Brownlow.
If you've got a job to do... I presume
he's obviously doing a job for
Pat. He played on Mickey Meehan, did he, Chad?
Yeah, he must have. I reckon Mickey probably had 4 shots a goal, he kicked points. So if he kicks them as goals, then he's not in the best.
Oh, wow.
No, that's exactly right.
Tongue in cheek, Dan. Tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I know that. Well done. Now, a terrific result, of course, for EFL Aspendale, and they've got Red Hill, and we'll talk about that very shortly. Now, game-saving marks. Logan hands Bombers back-to-back close wins. The Bombers started the game kicking to the scoring end when they took an early lead against Bomb Beach. This was a ripping game. Blackies, you and Hulks, I think, were both there. Blackies, you certainly were there. You loved every minute of it. Bomb Beach then controlled the contest, kicked 5-6 in the second quarter. As we look at some of the highlights now, thanks to Frankston Jeep. And it was a terrific game of footy. And then eventually the Bombers got away to get over the line by 3 points despite losing Corey Buchan with a hamstring injury.
In that first, this is Chapman. He gives them a lot of run and drive out of the back half. I thought he was probably their best player in the first half. Early on, Frankston allowed Bomb Beach to just kick the ball sideways and ball movement. And then what they did in the second half, they pushed up on Bomb Beach and made them accountable. And that's what the turning point of the game was, Dan.
Well, they've got enough talent in that side, Hulks, don't they, the Bombers, but they just haven't put 4 quarters together yet.
Well, I tipped them with a flag, so I think they'd be all right.
Yeah, but their first half, they were well beaten.
I'll tell you what the difference is between Bombers and a lot of other teams. Prior Hiratuku, they... on the weekend, they had 36 disposals between them, 11 inside 50s, 8 tackles, 7 clearances, 18 marks, and 76 hit-outs.
Yeah, so they're winning.
So you've got 2, if you key, a forward and a midfielder, which they change and stay on basically all day. You don't have another side in the comp that has a ruckman and someone that can slip forward and has that sort of impact on the game.
Oh, not at all, mate. But then they've got A-grade midfielders too.
When they click... They are unbelievable.
And they've got a great defender.
But they've only just scraped over the line. But I heard that Mark Logan was just absolutely...
Well, he went forward when Corey Buchan did his hammy and kicked 3 goals to help turn the game.
Yeah, and
he can play.
So it was a past players' day down
highlights
there.
now.
Dan, it was a past players' day down there last week. And the other thing too is my great mate Chris Sharman. They named the scoreboard after him last week. And so he got honoured for that, for all his contribution and all that to the Frankston Bombers Footy Club, which has been over 35 years.
I'm looking at the conditions here, and the Bombers ground is not far from where I was calling Coringal, and we had a bit of rain. What about you boys? Did
No,
you
it
have
was
any
good.
rain? Because you're only around the corner at Pines from Coringal on the weekend. I mean, that looks like perfect conditions to play footy down at the Greekbeck Oval.
It was in good nick.
Was it?
All right.
Terrific nick.
Yeah,
It's
we
in
probably had
Joseph.
rain for about 2 minutes, and not much.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of rain. Must have just been a rain belt across Ballon Park on the weekend.
Alex Harnett's in beast mode too. His
He is.
last 4 weeks
Yeah.
since he come back has been phenomenal. He had another 36 on the
Well,
weekend.
him and Fox and Dale Sutton's another good player.
I honestly think, Harnett's in the top 1 or 2 midfielders in the comp.
Oh, 100% he is.
Yeah, and he's still not 100%. I think he's still about 80, 90. He still has a bit of an issue with his knee, but wow. Yeah, no, look, this is what we expect out of him.
Can Bomb Beach win without Dennis Lane, though, Dan?
Well,
That's
they've
the
lost 2 games without him now, but I mean, I would have thought they've got enough forward options. I know McDonald was closed down, but they've got other players. You think
Yeah,
that
I
can
think Pickers
slip in.
took him on the weekend,
Yes,
Dan.
he's a very good
But
player.
if Bombay had kicked another goal, we'd go, oh, Harnett's had 36 and they still lost. They're rubbish, and they've done all this. So
Yeah, but
it's a really
how
close
even,
game.
that's how even the competition is, though.
And
you
they've
know?
finally kicked accurately. They've been so inaccurate, the Bombers. They've
That's
finally
the thing,
found a way
Dan.
to kick accurately.
In
12-3-75.
that third quarter, I
That's
think
what
they
it's all
kicked
about.
six straight goals.
You guys played Bombers a few weeks ago. Did you do much ruck work that day against Pryor and Heratuka? Because they are great players, as the boys said.
I don't think so. I honestly couldn't tell you. I can't remember. But I don't think I did.
Yeah, they're very good players. Now, Mount Eliza surged to second with a good win over Rosebud. Rosebud have got a few injuries. Solid intensity for the Redlegs in the first quarter. They held Rosebud scoreless as we look at more highlights. Again, thanks to Frankston Jeep to hold a 6-goal lead heading into the first break. From there, Rosebud hit back, but they just weren't able to hit the scoreboard often enough for the Buds. Fletcher Huswaite named best with 25 touches. He had a minor injury last week. Jackson McRae had 5 1%ers, also solid. But Nick Batsanis, who did have a great start to the year, but he was kept extremely quiet with just 12 touches and a goal. For Mount Eliza, Lockie Williams slotted 4 goals. And Tom Small, what a year. He's having 25 possessions and 10 tackles, pressing his case for VFL selection. Another win for Mount Eliza. And they just keep getting the job done, Blackers.
Yeah, fantastic. And it was a young fella, he's not a young fella, but Darren Booth played his 200th club game for him on the weekend too. And what a win for them down there at Rosebud. That's 2 losses in a row for Rosebud down there. And Rosebud, they had 9 individual goal kickers, so they couldn't get somebody to kick a multiple. Tommy Baker's been struggling too, Holks.
I was going to bring that up, Tone. But Huswaite, was he slightly injured after last week? Was that because of Jared Grant?
Well, could have been.
I don't think
I'm
that-
not 100% sure about that.
Oh, so because Granny got 2 weeks for hitting Huswaite. Was that why he was injured, or was it a leg injury, or was it he got clocked, or you'd know more than I do. I'm just asking a question,
Could
Dan.
be, but I'm not 100% sure.
Ah,
What are you
okay.
asking here?
I just heard there was some controversy at the tribunal.
Yeah,
during
there
the
was
week.
some controversy, but what, are you saying that he should have got more, or are you saying that he was lucky to get what he got? Or?
I don't know anything about the whole thing. That's why I'm asking you, because you've got your finger close to a lot of things, but mostly the pulse. But I thought you might know.
Do you think he talks a lot of rubbish, Michael?
Yeah, I think you all do.
Well, yeah, we do. We all do.
Well,
we all talk rubbish. That's why we're here, though.
Like what you're saying, like Man Eliza, they've been the surprise packet. We didn't think they were going to be up where they are now, and they're winning a lot of close
I
games.
thought they'd be in the top 6, though, Holks.
Oh, I didn't. I thought they'd be rubbish.
No.
And,
They've got so many good
Yeah.
young kids there. Lockie Williams is a really good kid.
Yeah, Breen's killing them. He had another 23
Yeah.
and 8 tackles. But you're right.
And then you've got older blokes like Sammy Gill,
Yep.
Booth, who's come back to the club,
Yep.
Tennant. You know, they've got a really good blend, and they've always had great kids.
But we said, like Matty and Tom Baker, they provide a real good contest around the pack, and they bring the ball to ground. But again, they had 6 touches between them on the weekend, and they didn't kick a goal. So they're still at about, I think, they're 4 goals between them for the year over, what are we, round 6, round 7, or whatever we're at. So they need to get more production out of the Baker boys.
Bentley and Downey are huge outs at the moment for Rosebud.
Sure.
And Jari Kennedy down back as well.
Yeah, and there's probably a few more. Cremage.
But I mean, all teams have got
are all going through
have
it,
got
Dan.
injuries at the
Yeah.
moment. I mean, Tom, having a year off last year, and there's a lot of hamstring injuries. Do you think that that's contributing because players are still getting used to playing footy again after having a year off of competitive footy?
Yeah, I think it'd have something to do with it for sure. I know I actually had a niggle. I missed one game the other week for a hamstring, which I don't think I've ever had hamstring issues. I
Really?
think, yeah, I don't know if, well, you'd think it'd have to have something to do with it, having that time off. I know, but I think there was still people doing a lot of work over that year off. But, whether or not it's the getting back into games and that, which we haven't done for 18 months, is, probably definitely have something to do with it.
Did you find that, Michael, the first couple of games you played? I mean, obviously you played some practice matches, but playing the first couple of matches this year that your body was a bit sorer than it had been for a while because you hadn't played for so long?
Yeah, I think you can train all you want, but you can't really sort of emulate that, what you get in a game, that pressure, the bumps, the wax. You can run until the cows come home, but I think until you actually go and play a game, it's a completely different kettle of fish.
It's a different type of running, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, when you got somebody up your bum, you know, you've got to go that little bit
Dan
harder.
would know all about that.
And it didn't. It didn't help too that the first game of the season was 32, 33 degrees. Good Friday. How hard was that?
Felt like it was about 45 out there against Bomb Beach.
And it was cold as the week after.
Yeah, it was.
You guys haven't played Rosebud, have you? Yeah?
No, we got them a couple, I think.
What was the main strength of Mount Eliza that you reckon that? Because I find it hard looking from the outside to see, this guy's a good player, this guy's, they do this well. It seems like a real even spread with them.
Yeah, I think you're probably spot on there. We did notice before the game that no one's a major ball winner for them.
No.
They all have 15 and 20. They all play their role pretty well, and I think you notice that out on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't stop anyone in particular. They all play their role really well down there.
Yeah.
They did a great job, as we've said, to get
Wonderful.
so close.
Did you like that?
32
Did you like
scoring
that
shots
question,
to
Dan?
21.
Did you?
What's that?
Did you like that question, did you?
Oh, it was a great question.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you've
it.
done well. Now, can we give a shout out, guys, to Daisy Thomas, playing in the twos for Sorrento on the weekend.
Wasn't
He
that a
turned
great
up,
effort?
Yeah, the former Collingwood and Carlton star. There's a couple of pictures of him. He's a great mate of Anthony Ring, the vice president of the Sorrento Footy Club. And they're a bit short on numbers. A number of clubs are in the reserves and under 18s and under 19s in our competition at the moment. But he turned up. He said, how much is it to get in? $10. I said, no, you don't have to pay. Yeah, yes, I do. So he paid the $10 to go in.
He wouldn't be short, mate.
No, he wouldn't be short, but the fact that he paid the $10 to go in and then he played and kicked 1 goal 3, so well done to him.
You don't pay $10 again, and you always go,
well, I've got my
media,
pass, mate.
media pass.
I've got my media pass.
Yeah, good on you, Dan.
Wouldn't mind a pat on the back for paying to get into a game. We do it every week.
Oh, yes.
You try not to.
Well, I've got my pass. Do you guys pay every week?
Well, not home games.
Away
obviously.
games.
Away
they do.
games, Dan.
Away game, Dan.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a tax deduction, though, Dan.
Michael knows a few sneaky gates he's going to get me through.
Get us a media pass, I reckon.
He ripped his jeans at Mornington one day trying to climb over the cricket nets.
Who?
Bus.
Did you?
Hey? No. Got to come up better than that.
Now, great win by the Sharks. The best performance of the season.
Obviously,
17-19, 1-2, 1-2, 8-8, 56, brother. It was a great performance. They've won by 65 points, and maybe they're just starting Blackers to show their best form.
It was great. A great effort for Sorrento to bounce back like that. On the weekend, it was the Graham Sterling and Jeff Morgan Shield for the first time, and Jeff Morgan passed away during the COVID time.
He
and
did.
He was a wonderful servant of that football club. Luke Tapscott played his first game, which makes a huge difference to the club, doesn't it?
Well,
He's got that on-field leadership.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's so important to that team, but there was no Leaper Holke, and there won't be for
No.
quite a while
I
until
heard-
the
I heard-
back end of the season.
Oh,
Very
I heard-
bad arm injury.
Yeah, I heard he
Broken arm.
broke it in two places.
Yes.
So you're looking at 15 to 16 weeks, Dan.
Gee. And, well, the way things are looking, Holks, he might be back again. If it's 15 to 16
Well, we
weeks.
hope so, because local footy's better for having him in there, because the crowd obviously get more involved. But how's Billy Gertz's game? How's that going?
54 hit-outs, a new MPNFL record of 262 ranking points.
I had him
And
as
his
coach
team got
this
beat
week,
by
so
11 goals.
I had him as captain in my Supercoach team. this week.
Ethan Johnson, 5 goals.
Yeah.
Was a good effort. And Nick Corp obviously went down forward, Dan, and played that important role to kick 4 goals for the game.
They had 11 goal kickers, and that was a great performance.
Well, they've shared it around.
They did.
Yeah.
Without Paholke. I mean, Romano would be disappointed relying maybe on too few at the moment.
Yeah. You don't know how many injuries they've got at the moment too, Dan. I don't think that they've got a lot of depth. They're really struggling in the twos. So,
Well, thanks to Anytime Fitness, Matt Price has told me they're okay with injuries at the moment, the
Okay.
coach. So I can only
So I can't be
provide you with the information that
that
I've
he
been
said.
given.
Yeah.
Of course, Sammy Fowler's playing for Collingwood, so we wish him all the best. He's a big loss for them. But
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to play at the higher level. so
There's a
he's
lot
doing
of
well.
clubs that have got blokes playing VFL level.
Yeah, well, there are. There are. And you've just got to learn to cope with that, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
their depth, Hulks, as we know, has not been great for a couple of years.
No, it hasn't, and we all tipped Ramona last week. So, and for Billy Gert, if we had said Billy Gertz gets 31, Sam gets 27, and Billy
Johnson
Quigley
kicks
gets
5.
30, DJ kicks 5, they win the game. But it's a fantastic effort from Sorrento. Miles Paholke probably had his best game. James is back with 23 and 3 goals, and Gladman 21 and 3 goals. So their midfield stepped up and took the reins of kicking goals when Lee wasn't there.
It'll be wonderful this week, Dan, and we'll talk about it later, but their midfield against the Frankston Bombers midfield.
Yeah, it'll be terrific. It's going to be a very tight game, I reckon, that one, but we'll get to that shortly.
You should go down there and call it, Dan.
Yeah, well, that's going to be our match of the day.
Oh, okay,
Good
that's
on you,
good.
Blackers. Thanks for that. Thanks to O'Brien's Real Estate. Can we also mention, too, the GameFace record, which you can download, and on the front, because it's the Volunteer Week, National Volunteer Week, and we remember all the volunteers at footy clubs. Without them, footy clubs could not operate. Joey Cap from Bomb Beach, who makes all the soup after training at Bomb Beach, has been there forever.
Chicken noodle? Or?
And to all those volunteers, Dan, you know, they all do a wonderful job.
Who's the best volunteer at your footy club, Michael?
Dermot, probably me to say him, but it's definitely not him. It'd have to be Ox.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
He's been wonderful, and no doubt, Tommy, you've come across a lot of good volunteers in your football journey.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, there's always one special one at the club, which, every club's got him. It's Big Den. I'd throw me hat in the ring for Big Den down at Edith Valley. He's a ripper.
That's good. Now,
And,
I know...
and Dan, sorry to
Yeah, go
interrupt, but you didn't hear before, but Chris Sharman Wombat had the
Yes.
scoreboard named after him last week, and it was a great honour for somebody who has contributed so much.
He loves that club, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, but it's good to be recognised before you pass away. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So then he can enjoy the time that he's put back in the...
I didn't think he was
into the club.
close. Is he close?
He's not
to pass
close,
away.
is he?
No, he's not, but, you know...
It's like he
Well,
was
you
on
said
dead
that,
side.
Blake.
It's
It's
like
like
he's about to kick
you're
the
about to
bucket.
reveal something about poor
No,
old
no,
Chris.
no. But
Jesus.
that's all I say. I think
Everyone
it's
needs
great.
to know
He
that
looks
Chris
healthy.
Sharman is fit and well.
Yeah,
and
he
ready
looks
to
poor.
go again.
He looked healthy the last time I saw him.
Poor Jeff Morgan's passed away,
Yeah.
and then now they've named a shield after him, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
So that's the way I see it.
Well, that's right. I mean, at the end of the day, the volunteers do a great job for footy clubs. And
Wonderful.
They deserve all the credit that they're getting, and that's why we've got National Volunteer Week, and we'll be talking about that in the GameFace Game Day record, which you can download. Now, also around the grounds, Frankston YCW continue to keep on keeping on. They're the only unbeaten team in the competition. They had a 29-point victory in freezing conditions at Red Hill. Once again, that defence, even without Byron Barry, who's had an illness. He'll be back this week, according to Andrew Schneider, the club president, as we again update injuries for Anytime Fitness. And they were very, very good, and they restricted Red Hill to just 4 goals. Red Hill, lots of injuries, but Frankston YCW, very good side, Blackers.
Oh, I think YC are a good side, Hulks. And look, Red Hill aren't far off the mark. You know, they've got some really good... And it was good to see Marcus Delago play really well again.
21.
And the Mole boys. Kane Hawkins is a young kid that's come up and he's made a real impact this year. So and Jocko Mitchell, but they're just struggling to kick goals. That's their biggest deficiency.
YC are annoying me at the moment because they're not blowing away teams, but they keep winning. It's frustrating.
Well, I don't think they'll ever blow away teams, but their defence will just do the job.
Because Cappy sits on here and says how good they are every week.
Well, Cappy
But
at the
I
start of the year said that they were going to be the big improver and finish on top of the ladder.
Well,
you
they're
know,
improvers and they
that's
keep ticking off games, but yeah, it's just annoying at the moment. But I think you're wrong. I think Red Hill are in fair bit of trouble, and I reckon their next 2, 3, 4 weeks are going to be really...
Well, they can't kick a score down. Their
No.
biggest goals for the year is 10 goals.
Well, they don't have a key forward. Like most teams have got key forwards.
Well, we've been talking about, and this is not the boys, Edithvale and Pines has been the two that we thought were going to get. Pines beat Red Hill. Edithvale have got Red Hill this week. I'd be tipping Edithvale every day of the week.
Yeah.
Man.
Which means that I reckon Red Hill are in a bit of trouble turn around. They're lucky they got that win. If Edithvale had beaten Mount Eliza after that kick, then we'd be talking about Red Hill in relegation stages instead of these guys as a 2-horse race.
Well, that's right. I mean,
Yeah.
they just can't get their best players out on the ground. They're
Well, I
very
don't
happy
think-
with the younger guys, and particularly their reserves
They're
keep
not
winning
coming
with an
back.
under 22.
Their reserves are undefeated.
Yes.
And their under 19s have won 2 of the last 3 premierships, Dan.
Yes.
So they've got a lot of depth there.
But have they got
maybe not the
Division
quality
1 depth?
depth needed at the
That's
moment.
right.
Now, Michael, you've played a lot of footy against YCW. Why do you think their defence is so good?
It's just their organisation. They're all on the same page. Just their well-drilled unit. They all know what's happening.
That's a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The organisation of those guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, they don't need they sort of coach themselves out there. It's
Yeah.
they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been good for a long, long time. But again, another good performance.
but
Matt
once
LaFontaine,
again-
19 possessions, Blackest, best on ground.
Yeah, once again, they're not kicking big scores, Hulks.
No.
And that's been their deficiency for 2 or 3 years.
That's why they're annoying me at the moment. They're just not
Yeah.
blowing away teams,
Yeah,
but they're
but-
just consistently good, which they always have been. And yeah, but are they? Yeah, we
Well, that's
can't
right.
knock them because they're on top of the ladder.
Yeah,
by
they're doing
6
everything
points.
right
They're
at the
doing everything
moment.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And the great Josh Butland again kicked 3 goals.
Yeah.
The great Josh Butland.
The great Josh Butler,
Yep.
after kicking 7.
Be interested to see if he's in team of the week.
Don't get
Yeah,
me
he
started
is.
on that.
He is. He certainly is.
He is,
No
isn't
doubt
it?
about that. Sorry, Michael. Now, we do have the team of the week. That's a lovely segue, Chris. Thanks to Jeff Wignall
I
Ford,
didn't even
serving
know
the
that.
Peninsula community since 1979.
Oh, no.
With branches in Hastings, Frankston, and also Mornington. Now, Cappy has done this team
This bloke's
before
kidding
he's
himself.
gone away on his holiday. Whether he actually gets to do the team when he comes back remains to be seen. There are some startling omissions, aren't there, Hulks? But
They
we'll read
are.
the team. From the back line, Matt Douglas from Bond Beach, Shane Tennant from Red Hill. He could be anywhere on the ground, really, in key
No,
positions.
Shane Tennant from Mount Eliza.
Shane Tennant from Mount Eliza. Thank you, Blackers. It's been a long night. Kane Hawkins, but a great night. Kane Hawkins from Red Hill in the back pocket. Brendan Credlin, half-back flank from
Stop
the
it.
YCW. Nick Carlin, centre half-back from Edithvale Aspendale, as Michael and Tom said, having a great season, was wonderful on the weekend for them. Tom Kelly from Mount Eliza, half-back flank. The midfielders, Billy Quigley on a wing, Danny Allsop from Red Hill on a wing, Billy Gertz just dominating in the ruck, Sam Fox from the Bombers, Alex Harnett from the Bombers, Nick Batsanis remains in the team despite a rare bad day from Rosebud. Half-forward line, James Hallahan, Sorrento, Guy Hendry Pines, Matt LaFontaine from the Stonecats, the great Josh Butland in a forward pocket for Stonecats, Khan Heratuku Bombers, Ethan Johnson Dramana, and on the bench, Fletcher Huswaite, Rosebud, a new addition, Harry Pryor Bombers, Ryan Marks Logan Bombers, a new addition,
He's on.
and Steve Mannix from Edithvale Aspendale. Michael and Tom, do you like that team?
Yeah, I guess so.
Tell you off.
Well, you're not far away, Michael, after a great effort last week. And Tom, you were terrific 2 weeks ago. You should nearly be in that team, don't you reckon?
No, well, I've got a bit of work to do, but I think the big fella next to me, he's in some good form. So, yeah, from the weekend, he's probably a bit stiff, mate.
How's Fletcher Huswaite? That'd be an interesting interchange bench with Fletcher on the bench with Harry Pryor and Ryan Marks Logan from the Bombers.
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, even more interesting if it was Jared Grant.
Oh, it would be. And come on, Brenton Crellin, he's playing rubbish at the moment. He had one good game, and then he's on a half-back flank. And Guy Hendry was in last week, so Cappy put him in. He thinks he should keep him going.
You can't have Nick Cullen and Guy Hendry, and Nick played on Guy. So.
Well, there we go. See, exactly. So you got to take the Mickey out of this bloke because he's putting up this rubbish.
Yeah, but he's not here to defend himself.
Oh, well,
No,
even
he's
if he
not.
was, it wouldn't matter. Would it,
Remember,
Dan?
it's a rolling team of the week. No,
I know the rules.
I
I
know
know the
you do.
rules.
You can criticise anyone you like as long as you can back it up. And we'd love to get people's views for our rolling teams of the week in the first and second division. Second division brought to you by the Frankston RSL, and First Division, of course, brought to you by Jeff Wignall Ford, and you can get on our Facebook page and make comments. Now, match of the day, O'Brien Real Estate match of the day will be a corker this week. Sorrento hosting Frankston Bombers, and of course it's thanks to O'Brien Real Estate with over 9 locations across the Mornington Peninsula. O'Brien Real Estate will be able to achieve the best price for your sale or rental, backed by a myriad of experience. So we look forward to that game. And, of course, let's look at the tips now, thanks to Telstra Business and Technology Centre of Melbourne South. Hulk's the only one with faith in Edie Asp last week. Sorry,
Hey.
boys. The panel missed out on Mount Eliza, who were terrific and have been terrific all season. Let's start with the Edie Asp and Red Hill game. Michael and Tom, we'll get your views first. Why do you think your team can beat Red Hill this week, Michael?
Well, obviously we've been building, like I said earlier. We've got that belief now, and I think any team that we come up on in the next couple of weeks, we're going to believe they're going to beat them. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in our fixture in the next couple of weeks. Whoever we're playing against, I don't even know who's there. Red Hill for starters. So, yeah, look out.
He's just taking it one week.
I love your attitude. I mean, do you know from week to week who you're playing, or you just find out at training on Tuesday?
He's just taking it one week at a time, Dan.
No, normally I find out Thursday night. So,
and does that make you play better? I mean, look, you obviously are one of the best players in the competition, but by sort of compartmentalising your life around what you do with this week, your work, and then when you play footy on the weekend, by not worrying too much about it, does it make you play better?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Probably a lot of guys get their heads caught up and overthink things too much. I just like to show up, and then whoever it is you play against, I guess. I wouldn't, like, you could tell me who we're playing against, I probably wouldn't know who played for him anyway, so.
Corey Buckham was the same, wasn't he, when he was on? He didn't know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know what.
Yeah.
He goes, where are we playing? Oh, okay. Is that home or away? Or what are we doing?
Yeah, he would just be told. Are you a bit the same, Tom, or do you take a little bit more notice
more
of
a student.
No, I'm a bit of a stress head when it comes to
it.
Yeah, but I don't really know many of the players. Obviously, only been in the first year, but yeah, I like to know. For starters, I like to know where we're freaking playing each week. Michael doesn't. I have to pick him up half the times, but and I do take a little bit of notice of what they did last week and who we got in the coming weeks. So yeah.
Well, Steve Morris plays in defence for Red Hill, not every week because he also plays for Richmond as well. So he'd be a handy addition, certainly with Edie Asp's good forward line, Tom. So that'd be a bit of a challenge for you. But obviously, the fact that you're playing better over the last few weeks, do you feel you're just having confidence?
Yeah, well, as Michael said, we've got a fair few young kids in that team. When you're talking about depth and that, and those first 2 or 3 weeks, we probably only had. Yeah, well, there was probably 6 or 7 players that were playing their first game of senior footy. So to get that close to Mount Eliza, I think was the turning point.
The big belief, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the confidence grew. And then obviously on the weekend, don't get me wrong, the Pines they asked us a few questions in that second half, and the young boys they stood up really well, and that can go a long way. And then back on our home deck this week should be pretty big for us too.
In regard to the home deck, Michael, what do you like most about that ground, and why do you think some opposition clubs struggle there?
Well, I like our crowd there. They're just all getting that one pocket there, and there's no doubt.
And they're right on. It's so close.
It is close. Yeah.
Really close. It's a small, compact ground.
Yeah, it feels like they're right on top of you, which is good. They're against Mount Eliza. There's no doubt that nearly got us there.
Yeah.
Is it good having the netballers there now? I mean, or has that never sort of been a factor? I mean, they've been so strong for so long, and they've had to play in different facilities, and they just keep winning premierships, don't they? And remain undefeated.
It's great having the netballers.
We're talking about functions or actually game day?
No, just having the netballers actually playing there. I mean, does it make the club more holistic?
Yeah,
more as a one
it
club?
has this year, definitely. Yeah, they've been getting around on Thursday nights and stuff like that. Before I came to Edia, we didn't really have netball at Roval. It hadn't started, so it's I didn't really notice it too much. But obviously this year it's been a big change having the netball courts there, and it's good.
It is, and they're playing really well. They just continue to win
premierships.
They're
terrific. But it does. It just brings everyone together. Everyone's there on a Thursday night for meals and so on, Dan.
Who are we selecting?
If you had asked me round 4, I would have said, or round 3, I would have said Red Hill by a stretch.
We're asking you round 7, Chris.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but Edithal will win this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
think the Mount Eliza one was the turning point because a lot of teams have struggled against Mount Eliza, and to get that close and should have beaten them, I think they'll fix up Red Hill pretty easy.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Yeah.
I think Edith Vale as well.
Good boys.
Yes, that's a good start. Bomb Beach and Pines, big game for Bomb Beach to get back and have a win, and they need to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That's a huge game.
And
Give
look,
me a spell.
What is a huge game? I mean, they'll be without Trent Dennis Lane. They've got to prove themselves again.
No, they don't.
But that's
No,
look,
they don't.
The thing about Pines, they had such a good win up at Red Hill 2 weeks ago, and then last week they went back to Eric Bell Reserve, and they went there, and the mindset of the younger blokes that they let themselves down. But it's a credit to Edithvale to win away. That's the way I see it. I think Pines would have been disappointed last week after such a big week the week before and a letdown the next week.
If Pines get within 10 goals, it's a win.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they'll
100%.
get, do you think
I'll
that
give you
they'll
10
get beaten
goals.
by 10 goals?
That'd be a good day. That'd be a good day if they can do that.
Oh, I think they'd be disappointed if they were beaten by 10 goals.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll see how we go.
Okay, we will.
I'll ring you on Sunday.
Tom, who do you like in this one?
I'd personally say Bomb Beach, mate.
Righto, good. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, Bond Beach for me.
Okay. Now, the big game's Sorrento and Bombers, which will be there on Saturday. Blackers, it's a
Yeah.
ripper.
It's a massive game
Yep.
for Sorrento, isn't it?
Is it as massive as Bomb Beach and Pines? Or
No.
Every game's massive in First Division.
Oh,
Well,
well,
you
no.
don't know
it
who's
is.
going to win from
Well,
week
it's
to
not.
week.
No, that's
it's not
right.
because Bomb Beach and Pines isn't a massive game. Give me
Bo-
a spell.
I think it is.
Bombers' backline has been really strong.
Drakey's been good.
Yeah, and so is a young kid called Dylan Garrett. He's played his role really well for him. He's just a young kid who's come. Last year he played some senior, or the year before he played some late senior
He
games.
did, yes.
Yeah, and they got some good players down there.
They do.
The midfield it's going to be a wonderful midfield.
I hope Harnett plays on Hallahan.
Or does Pickers go to Hallahan?
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know?
They won't go near each other if they do. None of them pick up.
No.
No,
They just run on
But
the ground.
I think that the way Frankston have been playing, Pickers has been going to the best opposition midfield.
And doing a good job.
And last week he went to McDonald.
Yeah, and beat McDonald.
He did. He didn't have one of his better days,
He
Macca,
did.
but he will come
Yeah.
back.
I think the Bombers boys are just rolling at the moment. I think
Yeah,
they're
I
just
think
starting
so.
to warm up.
Sorrento for me at home.
Oh,
Really?
damn.
You always are scared of Sorrento to tip
No,
against
I'm
them.
Hey, hey,
And you're going down there this week, so
No,
you're going,
I am
I better
not.
not tip
They
against
always look
Sorrento.
after us. They feed us beautifully from the
Exactly.
Sorrento Hotel.
And that's why you don't tip against them, because
I
you're just
don't-
scared.
don't
You're
be
a scared unit.
You're an idiot.
You are.
Michael, who do you like there?
Bombers. I think the Bombers get home there.
Bombers for mine.
Well, they're
Thank
not going
you,
down
Tom.
to get a lunch, so they can actually pick who they want.
No, we don't fit in down there, mate.
I won't say massive game because Chris will get stuck into me, but a pretty big game, Blackers. Rosebud travelling to YCW.
That's,
trying
Oh,
to
it
get
is-
their
that's
first
a bigger
loss.
game.
It is a big game, isn't
It
it?
is for Rosebud.
Yeah, they've got to
After-
find a way, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they would be disappointed. 2 weeks ago, they were 24 points up at three-quarter time. They kicked the first goal in the last quarter. They go 30 points up, and then they get overrun by Frankston Bombers. And then they drop Mount Eliza last week, so they could have been 1-1 if you know what I mean, Dan. So, yeah, I think it's a tough game for Rosebud and YC. I think they're impressed so far.
They just do what they need to do,
Yeah.
and I don't think Rosebud
They've
over
got
the
enough
last
goal
3 or
kickers.
4. Well, the last 3 or 4 weeks they haven't been.
Well, they had 9 individuals last week.
If you had to watch them round 1 compared to watching them last week, it's 2 completely different sides.
Yeah.
And it's hard to maintain.
But when you take people out,
Yeah, but it's hard to maintain that sort of intensity as well.
oh, that's right.
So I would tip YCW this week. Stonecats.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Boys, Michael?
Yeah, I'd have to go YC. I've seen nothing of Rosebud, but I've seen YC and they're pretty good, so I'd go there.
Yeah, I'll back the YCW boys in at home.
Yeah, they're a very, very good side. And so are Mount Eliza, who are at home to Dramana. It'd be hard to go against them the way they're going at the moment. Holtz, I know you hate Mount Eliza and you find any way you can, being a former Mornington player. That's a great rivalry too, Tom, in this competition. Mornington and Mount Eliza over the
See,
years.
there was some big games back in those days.
Yeah, there
Holmes,
were some
wasn't there?
massive games being
Yeah.
located so
On a-
close to each
especially
other.
on a Sunday.
Yeah, standalone. It was
Mount
good.
Eliza for me at home. They're going
Yeah,
really
Mount
well.
Eliza going really well.
Yeah.
Dramana's best players can't play any better than they're playing at the moment, which is the frustrating thing. And Mount Eliza, you can't knock their spread of players. I reckon they're doing a
Well, it's
fantastic
the
job.
evenness that's winning them the game.
Well done, Steve Bradle. You've done it first year as coach. You're doing a really, really good job. And I think Mount Eliza will beat Dramana this week.
Just the one loss so far.
But also behind the scenes, you got to.
Ah,
You know-
don't start me. What, their canteen's good or what? They're back, they got
Just
good
When you have
parking
30
or?
junior clubs, as
volunteers.
they do, and you've got
Yeah.
you're very successful in the under-19s and the reserves, it's just got depth everywhere. I mean, their seniors would like to win more premierships, so maybe this year's the year.
Maybe.
Sorry, Cappy's just texted me through. There's not enough YC content at the moment.
Is that what he said?
I run the show along with you. Oh,
I run
2 weeks'
the show.
time, Cappy. So we think Mount Eliza.
Mount Eliza.
Yeah, Mount Eliza.
Yeah.
I'll go Dramana, mate.
Hey!
Oh.
Yeah, I like it.
Go
on you,
Dramana.
Oh, he's
Michael?
Dramana's
No, I'd
supporter.
go Mount Eliza, I reckon.
Mount Eliza going beautifully. And, of course, our tips thanks to Telstra Business and Technology Centre of Melbourne South.
Is that another show done?
Thank you, boys.
Wow.
That is it. We really appreciate Michael and Tom coming in. Thanks to Growth Syndicates Australia, helping you create wealth by leveraging existing and available funds to build a substantial financial future. Now, you're on the train at 5 o'clock in the morning. What do you do for a job, Michael? It's pretty early.
Mechanical plumber. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So you're up at 4:30?
Yeah, about that.
Right.
4:30, yeah, every
So
day.
we're past your bedtime. We appreciate...
Touching on it, yeah, he's pushing it.
Okay, I really appreciate you coming in because I know you've got a fair drive home. Tom, thank you. You've got a drive virtually to the other side of town, a bit like my good self, but appreciate you coming in. Great to have you in the competition, and well done on the weekend, boys, and we look forward to seeing how you go for the rest of the year.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Cheers, mate.
Good on you, Tom.
Terrific,
and Michael
boys.
joining us from the EFL Aspendale Footy Club. Thank you, Blackers. We'll
Great.
have you next week.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you too, Hulks. Enjoy the rest of your wife's lovely birthday, Jeanette. I hope she continues to have a great night. We thank
Thanks,
Reece.
mate.
We thank Tom. And we look forward to our big match this weekend. Thanks to O'Brien's Real Estate, our major sponsor. We're down at Dave McFarlane Reserve as Sorrento hosts the Frankston Bombers. Get your game face on.